about 15 minutes, man. I'm pulling up on Tampa Bay Neighborhood Boxing League going down today. 301 in Brandon. The Causeway. We headed out there now. Go see what these go see if I can find me a diamond in the rough today. Yeah. Big fight last night, man. Pound for pound. Undisputed super welterweight championship. It's a great fight, man. Very contested. Whoa. Waiting for a few people to get in, man. I'm hoping some folks call in and really have a discussion on the fight last night. I know everybody got their opinions. I'm gonna chime in on what I thought, what I saw, and what I didn't see from both prospective fighters. First off, out the gate, man, you got to give both fighters the utmost respect. They both laid it out on the line. It was a tough fight. Both fighters had to dig deep. Everybody got their opinions on who won the fight. I know one thing. One of the judges didn't see the fight. Even though he was the closest man to the action, he didn't see the fight at all with the 117-111 scorecard, man. And people always keep saying what's wrong with boxing. I mean, we always knew for a long time that, the scorecards, man, they just got to get better. These guys are paid professionals, man. They're supposed to be the best in their field, Just imagine how many NBA refs or NFL football refs or even hockey refs, how many times are they going to get a chance to miss calls and blatant calls and stuff like that? They're not. They're going to be removed, suspended, or just straight fired, And in boxing, man, we have these bad judges that continues to find their way around the ring and really, doing more damage than anything, because everybody saw the fight, know that was no way in hell a 117-111 scorecard. So, what was going on? What was really going on in that judge's head to be just so one-sided in a major fight like that, as if everybody else is blindfolded? It just don't make no sense. That's first thing got to be really cleaned up in the game. They can find credible judges. They have a history of it. You got a record of these guys' performances. If they don't cut it, get them out of there, man. If they're not working with the utmost integrity to the sport, get them out of there. There's no room for bad judging in professional boxing. It's just no room for it. And that sickens me, because all throughout, a lot of my career, I've had to avenge robberies. And it just don't make no sense, But anyway, both fighters put out, man. I think when everybody look at the fight and be honest about the fight, no matter who you're a fan of or not. I mean, going into this fight, Jamil Charlo was a big favorite. Everybody in boxing thought that he was a class above, But that's why we fight the fight, to really show where these guys are really at, and not taking away from Castano or not, but he just, even though he's a two-time champion, he never really had that marquee type of name, and to really make people feel that this fight was supposed to be that close and that competitive. I mean, when you look at the fight, with all of the, names that Charlo has on his record, when you look at, common opponents or even like opponents, you would think going into this fight that Charlo was at least a 3-1 favorite, but he didn't fight like it. He didn't fight like it, and there's reasons why. I'm gonna really get into that a little bit, but I just want to say, Charlo has a lot of ability, a lot of heart. He's a tough guy, strong guy, but once, it seems like to me, most of these guys out here, they're trying to bully their way through the game, right? They're gonna just be meaner, stronger, tougher than anybody else in the division. Well, we see that you can't bully your way through boxing. I think a lot of people know that now. You can't bully your way through boxing. You have to think your way through boxing, And when I look at these fighters, and I'm looking for things that'll give me the indication that they're even really plotting, setting traps, counter-punching, being 2 or 3 steps ahead of their opponent. This is what I'm not seeing, from a lot of these top fighters. They're just not separating themselves. They're not separating themselves. And then it makes you wonder, what truly level are they really on? When you look at an A fighter, a B fighter, a C fighter, a D fighter, we got classes. And the A fighter is the top of the class, And when these guys get in there and compete, the classification of the fighter always sometimes rises to the top. Who's the most talented, most gifted, and we're not seeing these supposed to be naturally gifted fighters separating from guys that everybody knows that they have more talent than. So they say will beat skill when skill don't prepare or prepare properly. And this is what I'm seeing a lot. I'm seeing guys fight down. They're not fighting up to their level. They're fighting down to the competition, and there's way too much of that going on. And I don't know why that is, but when I'm looking at the game, I'm looking at it from a scientific standpoint, fundamental standpoint, from the basics, and a lot of the basic stuff. And I'm gonna just point out one thing that I see a lot of top fighters, and it's like a lost art in boxing: footwork. Nobody wants to move in the ring, and yes, it takes a lot of energy to be moving, sticking and moving, but that's just like a lost art in the game today. You don't see a lot of people really boxing, so to speak. Everybody seems as if they're fighting, and that's why there's really no separation from the top. Canelo seemed to be separating himself, but he's not fighting. I don't think he's fighting the top guys in his weight class. So of course, if an A fighter is fighting a B minus or a C fighter, 9 times out of 10, the A fighter is gonna dominate or look superior. And that's what I'm not seeing a lot of times with these pound for pound quality type fighters. There's no separation. I don't see any separations from the A fighter from the C fighter. It seems like the A fighters aren't staying in their Eiffel Tower. They're coming down and fighting down to the competition. You see a lot of that. I'm just pointing that out. But man, the game is to be sold, not told. And as long as I'm staying on this live, speaking this knowledge, I'm educating folks. You feel me? I'm educating folks because people, when I talk, people listen. Because I done heard a lot of people say a lot of things about me. I haven't heard one person say, I don't know what I'm talking about when it come down to boxing. I ain't heard that yet. So my thing is, it's a way to do it, man. And I believe preparation is the key. And again, we here, and I'm not, shitting on nobody because everybody is who they are, to each his own. But I sometimes wonder, and I often wonder, when these trainers are giving these fighters advice, strategy, and all this between rounds, I often wonder, have they trained to do the things that the trainer is asking of the fighter? So the trainer always can say the right things, but have they worked and have they trained and have they prepared to execute what he's telling the fighter to do? I often wonder that, because a great trainer can always get his fighter to execute, to acclimate, to make adjustments. And you just don't see that at the top of the game anymore. If you've seen one round, you've seen them all. There's no making adjustments. There's no downloading of the information that's right in front of you. When they say a fill-out round, that's what that is, a fill-out round. After the second round, you're supposed to know everything about your opponent, his tendencies in the ring. You're supposed to be setting traps, walking this guy into the booby trap. You don't see nobody using timing. Where's the timing at? These guys are supposed to be the top of the food chain. You don't see these guys causing the collision, walking these guys into the punch. I don't see it. Everybody want to be a trainer. Everybody want to be a trainer. But do you see these guys getting better? Do you see these guys improving each and every time out? Show me a fighter that's getting better with time. And we knew long time ago what was missing in the game. Teachers. There's nobody teaching these fighters the game. And they don't want to get with somebody that knows the game, inside and out. But I just sit back and I'm just a couch potato watching it all unfold. Watching a guy underperform every time out. No matter how tough talk they talking during the press conference, no matter how tough they talking at the weigh-in, when they get in the ring, they struggle. They struggle. Nobody's making adjustment from one round to the 10th round. Just fighting. Nobody's thinking, setting traps. Nobody's playing chess. Man, it's just a lost art. But when they get that fighter that has done his homework and has put the lesson in, the studying, the execution, and the mindset, when that comes together, then you'll see these fighters performing like the superstars they're supposed to be. And a lot of time, it's not the message, it's the messenger. You can say the same thing, but if it's coming from a particular person, it's going to have a different effect on that person. But I can't give him the game, man, because the game is to be sold, not told. And I can't give it to him for free. But I know, and they know, I can help these guys, man. I can help these guys, bro. From the top to the bottom. Educate. Yeah. Demonstrate. And execute everything I'm trying to teach them. Well, I can't figure it out for nothing. They rather lose than join the winning team. And I'm going to leave that there. That's Tarver's take, man. I'm out.